I've written over 90 books. I like women whose skin is white. I'm the greatest conscious community crook. Look out for brother Polight. I hope you enjoyed that classic intro about Brother Polight. But once again, I always felt that he kind of looks like J.J. Evans from Good Times, so that's why I made that intro in the last video that I did about Polight. What's going on, folks? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So, there has been an update in the case of Brother Polight, and for those who don't know what happened before, Brother Polight is one of these conscious community grifters, and he's one of the people I always make fun of as selling those sovereignty papers, saying that hey, I'll give you this packet or this pamphlet, and he'll teach you how to be sovereign, and you'll never have to go to court and never have to go to prison. But he's one of those types of Negroes. But he's very blatant with his con artistry, because he'll just take people's money, and then like he went over to California and was macking to the Kinder Jenner and the Jenner girls and hanging out with white women and everything else. But he still tries to promote that whole nonsense about polygamy, and he was in a polygamous relationship with this one young black lady, and then he decided to take out her teenage daughter. He took her teenage daughter out to a club or to like a concert or like a meet and greet or something like that, and apparently the place closed down. So Polight took the young teenage girl back to a hotel room, and the little girl said that she passed out, didn't know what happened, but then she woke up and Polight had his fingers in her mouth, and there were semen stains on her dress, okay, and on her clothing. And apparently the young girl went back to her mom, and Polight asked the mom not to say anything or not to bring this up anymore because it'll ruin his reputation. But the mom was smart enough to go to the police immediately, and punk-ass Polight got arrested about 1.5 years ago and, was charged formally with the assault of a minor, okay? So now we're getting close to what will be the trial of Polight, or Michael Norwalk, I think is his real name. And now it's come to everyone's attention that Polight probably, more than likely, has pleaded to a lesser charge in this case. So the rumor that's been going around is that Polight pleaded guilty to what had happened with this young girl. And, once that rumor started spreading on the internet like wildfire, people started talking about it. And so Polight, as he always does, instead of doing the smart thing and just shutting up when it comes to any type of legal situation, he went out there to run his mouth, because as a grifter and a con artist, he has to save his con. You see, he has to save the whole celebrity personality that he has created in order to keep making money and grifting people. So he came out online and talked about how he didn't cop to anything. He hasn't said that he's guilty of anything, and he's not doing any type of plea deal. But people have gone back over that and shown that what Polight is doing basically is playing semantics. He has not pleaded as of yet, but the lawyers have made the announcement that they're going to go to court and make a plea deal on, I believe, early the first week of July. Okay, the first or second week of July. I think the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's what they're gearing up to do. Now, he could obviously change his plea once he gets to court, and that's up to him. But as of right now, based on the court documents and actual video of his law team, the great, amazing hundreds of thousands of dollars of a law team that he hired, with your money, basically, to all you black folks that gave him money. He hired them with your money, basically. But this great legal team that he hired has made the announcement that they're going to do a plea deal. And basically what he's probably going to try to do is plead to a lesser charge in order to save himself from going to court. Because if he goes to court, the prosecution is going to throw the book at his punk ass, which is what I kind of want to happen. But, I don't know how things are going to work out. He might just plead to a lesser charge and be out in a year or something like that. Who knows? Because, he doesn't really have to do that much time in order for him to suffer the consequences of what he did. Because if he's messing with young girls and that's what he goes to jail for, the Negroes that are already in prison are going to check his paperwork and deal with him there. Okay? Depending on what prison he goes to, if he doesn't go to protective custody immediately, I mean, people are going to know who he is, but he should definitely go to protective custody immediately. Maybe he can go find Dr. York and go hang out with him while he's in prison as well. I don't know. But Polight better do something when if he does go to prison, because those dudes are going to bust his head open at the very least. If they don't try to get up in him themselves. They might do that just to teach him a lesson. Like, if you want to do this to young girls, we're going to do this to you. And little skinny ass beanpole J.J. Evans looking Polight is not going to be able to keep those Negroes off of him. Okay? All that nonsense he talks and yammers about on social media, that's going to go all out the window when Tyrone and Tyrone and Fleece Johnson approach him. He's not going to be able to stop those fools. Okay? When the tall salad man comes into his room, he's not going to be able to stop those guys. Okay? It's going to be like scared straight all day, every day with Brother Polight. Okay? Trade his backside for Zuzus and Wham Whams. All right? So, I mean, for those who never saw my original video on Polight, that gives kind of like the full story of what's been going on with him, you can go watch it on my Patreon right now. I'll provide the link in the description box as well as pinned in the comment section for you folks that really want to watch it and who are part of my Patreon. If you're not part of the Patreon, $5 a month, you get to watch all my classic videos, new exclusive videos, and also my political cartoons. Okay? And once again, personally, I've never liked Polight. I saw a video the other day. What's her name? What's the chick with the blockhead's name? Michi X. She was going in on Polight, and then she started going in on black men in the black community about how they don't take care of our black girls. That's why people like Polight are allowed to thrive or whatever, and why so many black girls get abused. I don't know. I didn't know about all this. It's only been brought to my attention by other people because I don't follow that trash, Michi X. I don't follow the conscious community. I don't deal with these bozos. And I knew Polight was a bullshit artist way back when he was dressing up in all the Hotep gear, talking about he's a Nubian and he's going to teach you how to be sovereign. I knew he was full of trash then. I didn't need to wait until he molested a child or assaulted a child for me to get the fact that this guy was trash. Okay? So to all the Michi X's out there who are on their bandstand playing victim, I didn't need to wait to find out that a lot of these people are full of trash. All I had to do was listen to them one time. I didn't need to wait for them to commit a crime like this, a heinous crime like this, for me to know what type of scumbags they were. Okay? And, and I've always said that any man who does this to a child, young girl or young boy, because I noticed that, people like Michi X are always very convenient in leaving out young males who are abused. Any type of a young black boy is abused or sexually touched or molested, they always leave that out. They only talk about when little girls are touched by older men, as if there's no female rapist out here. Because I can tell you that it was an older girl who exposed herself to me. Okay, it was not a man. I never had any type of weird sexual encounters with a man, but I had tons of older women exposing themselves to me and trying to touch me and all this other stuff. Okay, so that's just a little side part that I wanted to put in about brother. Well, I can't even call him brother Polight because he's not my brother, definitely not. And scumbags like him need to be dealt with. Okay, in whatever way anyone can see is possible. Okay, but like I said, I've never liked him, and I knew he was trash from the giddy up. And anyone who supports him with this type of knowledge out there about him, you know, they need their heads examined. Because I know there's a lot of idiots out there that still support him. I don't know why. He's never said or done anything profound that would allow for support for this chump. And I want to say something, and this is in all sincerity, because I had a young lady come to my channel and say that, ask if Brother Polight was being set up. You got to be careful with stuff like that, because a lot of these con artists will do that. They'll take advantage of black people. They'll take advantage of black children or black women. And then they'll say, when they get caught up in some mess, they'll say, oh, it's white supremacy setting me up. Some of these guys are just scumbags, and no one is setting them up. So he never denied taking that girl up to his room. So white supremacy made him take this girl to the party. White supremacy made him take this girl to the room. White supremacy made him give this girl alcohol or a drug or whatever. White supremacy made him put his semen, his DNA on this girl's dress. You see what I'm saying? You got to think about stuff like that. Okay? No one forced him to do that. He's not being set up. If he has that type of weakness where the government was able to plant a child in front of him and he took the bait, then he still needs to go. You see what I'm saying? If that's his weakness and that's his get down, then he still needs to go then. Okay? If he can't resist himself or just has to terrorize and molest and abuse children, then his bitch ass needs to go to prison anyway. Okay? And let white supremacy deal with him however they want. In my opinion, when people say white supremacy is involved with people like that, with like people like Polight, in my mind, I'm thinking it's white supremacy that's financing scumbags like that. They bring knuckleheads, they let knuckleheads like that come to this country because Polight's not from America. Okay? They let him come to this country and they let him hustle and abuse black people in the poor community and take advantage of them. So white supremacy allows these miscreants to run rampant in our community. Okay? So if white supremacy is involved at all with him, it's in that regard. Because he lets these monsters run free, knowing that they're pushing nonsense on us. Okay, so just want to get that out there as well. You folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, mad black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.